Hello, Haley here for another call, helping to give you elevated lifestyle strategies for lifelong wellness. Since this month's focus topic is about exploring alcohol-free living and loving on your liver and hormones, I thought it'd be really appropriate to dive deeper today and talk about how your everyday products, maybe your food or the water you're drinking, could be disrupting your endocrine system and causing imbalance in your body systems. So I'm going to be covering the top endocrine disruptors that are hiding in things that we may be putting on or in our body, maybe we're cooking with or cleaning our home with, etc. Just giving examples of where these chemicals can be found in and also giving cleaner alternatives so you can bring better options into your home so they could be serving your health, your family's health, and your environment too. All right, now what are endocrine disruptors? These are natural or even synthetic chemicals that can disrupt the hormone system in many ways. They could be increasing the production of some hormones or maybe decreasing the production of others and interfering with their signaling, which can result in health problems. So because of this, it is just so highly important to do your best to steer away from these toxic products due to the negative impact they have on our bodies, on our health, and the environment as well. Our hormonal system is especially vulnerable to the negative impact of these chemicals. So, as you're learning this month and the other calls from our amazing nutritionists and in the VHM program, hormone health is just so important and should be given as much TLC as we possibly can. All right, so these chemicals that we're going to be talking about today are called the Dirty Dozen of endocrine disruptors. Now, this Dirty Dozen list was provided by EWG, which is a nonprofit organization called the Environmental Working Group. So we can just better protect the health of our endocrine system. Not only that, but the health of our liver, our brain, our fertility, which our fertility equals our health, whether you're trying to conceive or not, our overall health, and just to protect the health of our future as well, our children, our grandchildren, right? So maybe you've heard about the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 when it comes to buying organic produce. We actually introduced this to you in our detox module under the core nutrition plan of your program, just so this can help you discern what foods are recommended to buy organic if you want to start doing that, and what foods are okay to maybe not buy organic, right? And this is just to help you stay away from those foods that are high in pesticides and other harmful chemicals that are sprayed on our produce. Now, of course, if you want to learn more, you could go back to that module. It is the Prepare to Detox module. Or you can even head over to the website ewg.org to check all of that out. All right. Moving on though, aside from the Dirty Dozen and Clean 15 for food, we also, like I said, have the Dirty Dozen for endocrine disruptors. So what kind of repercussions can endocrine disruptors have on our health? There are quite a few of them. So we'll start with one being reproductive issues. So in women, that can look like irregular menstrual cycles, maybe reduced fertility or difficulty conceiving, maybe early onset of puberty or PCOS, or other hormonal imbalances. In men, that can look like reduced sperm count or sperm quality. Erectile dysfunction is a big one, and testicular abnormalities or even pain. Our second one here is developmental problems. So delayed or abnormal physical development in children, maybe low birth weight or developmental delays in infants. Again, early or delayed puberty. Number 3 here is metabolic and weight changes. So weight gain or obesity could be caused, increased risk of diabetes or insulin resistance, and disrupted lipid metabolism, which is, that can correlate to high cholesterol. All right. Number 4 here is thyroid dysfunction. So one who is maybe experiencing fatigue or weakness or just feeling sluggish, right? This is a very common symptom of hypothyroidism. Weight changes unrelated to diet or exercise. So, say nothing changed at all. You were still being very consistent in what you were eating really well, taking care of your body by moving it, and you just, can't get the weight back down. It just keeps going up. Yes, that could be linked to thyroid and so many other hormonal imbalances as well. That could also look like hair thinning or losing a lot of hair, or maybe swelling in the neck. All right. Number 5 here is neurological or behavioral issues. So impaired cognitive development in children, maybe ADHD, memory problems, or brain fog, especially in adults, and anxiety and depression. Number 6 here is immune system effects. So increased susceptibility to infections, maybe autoimmune disorders or chronic inflammation. And unfortunately, there are cancer risks as well. So increased risk of hormone-related cancers have been linked to endocrine disruptors such as breast cancer, prostate, ovarian, and testicular. All right, now there are general symptoms too, and that could look like chronic fatigue, maybe some sleep disturbances, unexplained headaches even, or even muscle or joint pain without a clear cause. All right, so I want to share a quick story, and we can title this The Days I Was Obsessed with Bath and Body Works, namely their candles and their plugins. Now, it's probably been like 8 years since I've walked into a Bath and Body Works, but when I was in my 20s, I was not only obsessed with buying plugins and candles of all the, seasonal scents, but I was also really struggling with hormonal issues, chronic migraines. We're talking like at least a few a week. I also had secondary amenorrhea, which is the absence of menstrual periods for at least 3 or more consecutive months. I was really just a mess when it came to my health, and it wasn't until I exhausted all avenues with conventional doctors where I came across holistic and integrative approaches to healing. Now, I began to learn about root cause healing instead of masking symptoms with a Band-Aid, aka prescription medication. Now, there's a time and a place for that, right? But root cause healing can be so profound. And just over the years, this approach really became such a game changer for me and for my health. So here's the deal with fragrances and other ingredients used in candles and plugins, even air fresheners and sprays, right? No matter what some of these labels can say, maybe they aren't 100% soy or beeswax, right? Maybe they're not paraben free or phthalate free or non-toxic fragrance, right? Maybe they are in fact doing more than just scenting your home. So most candles that we buy from those popular companies or box stores are made with paraffin wax, which is a byproduct of petroleum or coal, which is a cheap alternative to better alternatives like beeswax or soy, right? So when we burn candles made with paraffin wax and those synthetic fragrances that are not organic, essential oils, right? Volatile organic compounds, which are known as VOCs, such as formaldehyde, are released into the air. Now, when we hear these chemicals, right, and then we take a moment to let it all sink in, you're probably thinking exactly what I thought when I first learned this, and that's, this is definitely not something I want to be breathing in, not just me, but my family, right? So paraffin, phthalates, and all the other toxic chemicals that are, tested and meet industry standards are being allowed into your home, which then further exhausts your body from the toxicants you're breathing in every day. And candles, of course, aren't the only toxic thing that maybe we're burning our bodies with, right? Think of all the things you use every day or weekly. We have laundry detergent, perfumes, lotions, personal care products, cleaning products, hair products, other air fresheners or sprays, like I said before, that we may use in our homes or that the work office that we work in is using, or little things that we put in our cars to make it smell good, right? The list goes on and on and on. And if we aren't informed and then mindful about what we're breathing in and, what we're putting on our body or allowing into our environment, the toxic load can become pretty heavy, which can bring on just a whole host of imbalances in the body. So, just think of it this way. It's never just one thing, right? It can be a lot of little things that really add up quickly. So with this information I learned regarding candles and plugins, my old obsession with that, they all got donated or thrown away. Really, I had a hard time donating them to other people knowing what they were doing, right? So I really did throw away a lot. I replaced those with essential oils and a good diffuser. And this first swap I made a huge difference, especially in my chronic migraines. So with that said, let's just get into it, right? Let's get into the dirty dozen endocrine disruptors. So number one, we're going to start off with BPA. Now, this is a very commonly known chemical. You've probably heard it before, right? But did you know that BPAs actually mimic the sex hormone estrogen, which tricks the body into thinking it's the real thing? And friends, this does not yield good results at all. BPA has been linked to breast and other cancers, reproductive problems, obesity, early puberty, and heart disease. According to government tests, 93% of Americans have BPA in their bodies. Now, BPA can be found in store receipts via the thermal paper that is used. Thankfully, some places have been offering more recently to send receipts via text or even email, so you can offer that, or you could just kindly ask the cashier to put the receipt in the bag for you, which just helps to reduce the exposure for you, not for that dear cashier, which I'm always thinking like I just need to donate like gloves to these cashiers at stores, but I digress. Additional solutions can also be, to avoid plastic water bottles, maybe storing food in plastic containers if you've been doing that. Avoid plastics marked with PC, which stands for polycarbonate, or recycling label number 7. Avoid even heating food or beverages in plastic containers. And this also goes for, I feel like I know quite a few people who buy water bottles and keep a whole case of them in their car or even in their garage. And if you live in a place like I do, we see all 4 seasons. So we see really, really hot temperatures and really cold temperatures. And that is the same thing there. That water, that beverage, whatever, if it's water or something else, it's being going through very extreme temperature changes, which is allowing that plastic to leach into that drink, right? So we really want to avoid that as well. So instead of doing that, right, use glass or stainless steel or BPA alternatives. I will, use my water bottle as an example. I think it always comes into an example on a lot of these calls, but this is stainless steel. It is by Blender Bottle. I got this a number of years ago, but I'm sure they have to still be selling something just like this. And I love it. I do love glass as well, but, glass water bottles can be a little heavy. So, we always want to be taking our water with us everywhere as well, too. So stainless steel works really great for me, but find what works great for you. All right. Now, also, many canned foods are lined with BPA. So opt as much as you can for fresh food over canned goods, or look for organic BPA-free canned goods. I think I noticed that maybe a couple years ago in my grocery stores where there was that option, thankfully. So I understand, sometimes we do need to buy canned goods, and that's okay. But, try and go the extra mile and look for those better alternatives there. So just to help keep synthetic hormones out of your body, just be empowered to control the controllable with what you buy, and know that you're creating a much better environment for your body, for your family, and for the environment outside as well. Alrighty, so next up we have atrazine. This is actually a herbicide that is sprayed on most corn crops here in the US, and due to this, it contaminates our drinking water. So this chemical has been linked to breast tumors, delayed puberty, prostate inflammation in animals, and prostate cancer in humans. So a cleaner solution here, this is where buying organic, so going back to that Clean 15, right, at the ewg.org, you could check that out there. Buy organic, whether that's at your store, local grocery store, or a local organic farm, or if you have your own organic garden. This is going to be so beneficial. Also, ensure you're drinking filtered water, not tap water, and that your water filter is certified to remove atrazine. All right, now I will note here, Berkey water filters are great. We also, can opt for reverse osmosis systems that you can even install underneath your sink. Now, if you're looking for a whole house water filtration system, there are a ton of options out there. Do your research. When we were doing ours, we found Springwell, which is a great brand. But of course, the top of the line option is a reverse osmosis system, but that also comes with a huge investment. So go with the route that best suits your needs and financial needs as well. But also something to consider with reverse osmosis systems is that they yield demineralized water. So you'll want to ensure you're adding minerals and electrolytes back to your drinking water, okay? Or your dentist is definitely going to find out. They're definitely going to see that at your next appointment. All right, so next on the list is dioxin. This is an industrial chemical which has contaminated our food supply and is commonly found in meat, fish, milk, eggs, and butter. This chemical disrupts the delicate ways both male and female sex hormone signaling occurs in the body. So recent research has shown that exposure to low levels of dioxin in the womb and early in life can both permanently affect sperm quality and count in men during their prime reproductive years. They also affect the immune and reproductive systems. This is obviously not a good thing at all, and something we really need to understand for fertility health and the impact this can have. Maybe you're reading this or listening to this and saying, well, I'm not trying to conceive. That's okay, but we have to look into, the health of our children and our grandchildren's fertility, right? So it's all about, helping the future generations. And it starts with us. So what can we do? Of course, try your best to limit your exposure to this by choosing, again, local, organic, sustainably raised, maybe even grass-fed and grass-finished if you could find that meat. That's going to be so wonderful. Choose wild-caught salmon, local organic eggs, local organic raw milk if possible, or even butter. All right, so fourth up here is phthalates. Now, this is another chemical found in plastics that has been linked to hormone changes, lower sperm count, less mobile sperm, birth defects in the male reproductive system, obesity, diabetes, and thyroid irregularities. Phthalates actually trigger what's known as the death-inducing signaling in testicular cells, making them die earlier than they should, which is so scary. Now, phthalates are commonly used to increase the flexibility of plastics and are often found in various consumer products like clothing. All right, so other products can also be nail polish, fragrances, what we're spraying on us to smell good, right? Hairsprays and shampoos, detergents, air fresheners, food containers, plastic wrap, vinyl flooring, toys, shower curtains even, processed food like leaching from the packaging that they use, and even fast foods. All right, those are just some examples there. But I also want to note that a lot of workout clothes, the second skin workout leggings especially, even from prominent brands like Lululemon, have been found to have phthalates in them. So not only is that really not great to be wearing on your body, but a lot of women choose to not wear underwear with these leggings, which can lead to, easy chemical absorption due to the genital area having that thin, sensitive skin, right? And of course, this can lead to that hormonal disruption or potential irritation, allergic reaction, and the list can go on. So just be very mindful of that. A cleaner solution here, again, avoid plastic food containers. Children's toys, thankfully, some phthalates are already banned in most kids' products. Plastic wrap made from PVC. Again, that has a recycling label number 3 to it. And personal care products that have the word fragrance found in their ingredient list, which you will probably become appalled at how often fragrances are used for so many things. Also, try your best to look into buying organic cotton, wool, linen, bamboo clothing. Okay, there's a lot of great options out there. Thankfully, these past couple years, a lot of brands have been waking up to this and offering, just those better alternatives. They do come with a price tag, but at least for me, I can say it's really helped me become more minimal in the clothes that I do wear, choosing quality over quantity. All right. So number 5 here, we've got perchlorate. This chemical is actually found in rocket fuel, which falls from the sky to the earth, and you guessed it, right into our food supply and water supply. Mostly found in produce and in our milk. Too much of this chemical can actually alter your thyroid hormone balance. So a cleaner solution here for food, it's unfortunately quite difficult to stay away from this chemical, but just making sure you're getting enough iodine in your diet, right? From iodinized salt, for example, can be really beneficial. Also, again, installing or using a good water filter, again, like reverse osmosis systems, maybe even an ion exchange filters or combo filters for your drinking water, can reduce perchlorate. All right, number 6 here, we've got fire retardants, which are also known as PBDEs. All right, now this is another endocrine disrupting chemical, which is contaminating human bodies and wildlife around the world. This chemical was found in breast milk in 1972, and since then the levels have been doubling every 5 years. They imitate thyroid hormones, which disrupts their activity, may lead to lower IQ, and have other significant health effects as well. All right, so a cleaner solution here is 1, use a vacuum cleaner with a HEPA filter. Avoid reupholstering foam furniture and carefully dispose the padding when getting rid of old carpet, and shop for furniture, flooring, things like that that do not contain these PBDEs. All right, so to find out if your couch has flame retardant, you can actually look for the label on the underside of the furniture or under the cushions, right? Which should state whether or not the couch contains these added flame retardants. Now, this label should be there if the furniture was manufactured after 2015 due to California labeling laws requiring such disclosure on new upholstered furniture. So if you can't find that, of course, you can always contact the manufacturer too. Now, a little side note, I highly recommend the Air Doctor for creating a much healthier environment in your home in the air that you breathe. We have a couple in our home. We have one in our living room and kitchen, which are just naturally the most trafficked areas in our home. And we also have one in our bedroom. And this has made such a huge difference. All right, number 7, we have lead. This is one of the heavy metals we definitely want to avoid due to its harmful effects on every organ system in our body. If we have high exposure of lead, it has been linked to permanent brain damage, lowered IQ, hearing loss, miscarriage, premature birth, increased blood pressure, kidney damage, nervous system problems, and disruptions in the HPA axis, which is the body's major stress system. This could actually result in high blood pressure as well, diabetes, anxiety, and depression. Lead can be commonly found in old paint. I know that's not necessarily a common occurrence anymore because they have gotten rid of that in a ton of areas, but it can also be found in water pipes and contaminated soil. So what can we do about this? keep a clean home. Of course, ridding of that old paint that could be a source of lead exposure, having a good water filter. Again, we've talked about that how many times. And eating just more whole foods and a lot of veggies that are local, organic if possible. Studies have even shown that those, especially children, absorb less lead with healthier diets. So that alone, which is something I'm sure you are already doing and doing an incredible job at, that can be such a powerful thing that is really helping to transform your health and the health of those around you, right? All right, number 8 here we have arsenic. This is present in our food and drinking water, which interferes with normal hormone function in the glucocorticoid system, which regulates how our bodies process sugars and carbohydrates. Arsenic is a pretty deadly chemical, as we know, but in small amounts can cause skin, bladder, lung cancer, and yes, another chemical that disrupts our hormones. So again, another cleaner solution, a good quality water filter. All right. Number 9 is mercury. This is a naturally occurring but toxic metal that contaminates our air and ocean through coal burning. So mercury can be found in fish, like larger species, like tuna, can even be found in dental fillings, in industrial emissions. Mercury lowers our progesterone levels and increases estrogen, which also can interfere with our thyroid hormones and affect brain development and the metabolism as well. So a cleaner solution is to be more mindful of how much seafood and the quality that you're eating. You can also always choose small fish that have less bioaccumulation of mercury. Wild-caught salmon and farm trout are good choices as well. Now, if you did get fillings when you were younger or even more recent and know that they contain mercury, you can absolutely go, hopefully you have this option in your area, you could go find a holistic dentist who can safely remove the fillings, replace them with composite resin or ceramic restorations, and also help you detox from the mercury if needed. Alrighty. Next here we have perfluorinated chemicals, which are also known as PFCs. Now, these are used to make non-stick cookware, but alternatively, they stick to us, which, ugh. One notorious compound called PFOA has been shown to be completely resistant to biodegradation, which means it will never ever break down. Now, even though PFOA has been banned, it is still showing up and will continue to do so for quite some time. PFOAs have been linked to decreased sperm quality, low birth weight, kidney disease, thyroid disease, and high cholesterol. All right, so a cleaner solution here is avoid water-resistant coatings on clothing, furniture, and carpets. All right, skip the non-stick pans and opt for non-toxic cookware. Now, non-toxic cookware can be as simply as cooking with cast iron, like our ancestors used to do, right? Or stainless steel, even. I know stainless steel for a lot of people may sound like a pain to deal with, but it's really easy to cook with. And I'll give you a simple tip. If you have stainless steel pans or you want to look into them, what you do to get them to become naturally non-stick is you want to heat that stainless steel pan up first over medium to low heat, right? And then, wait for a few minutes, get a little bit of water from the faucet and spritz it on the pan. And if that water starts to dance all around, then it is hot enough to where you can add a little bit of oil, whether that is ghee or tallow, right? Something that has a high heat, and it's not going to, alter the molecular makeup of that oil. All right, and then you could cook in that pan and it is wonderfully non-stick. You can cook anything from eggs to a steak and it will come out perfectly clean. Okay, now some other better alternative cookware brands can also be found at Our Place or even Caraway, if you've heard of that. All right. We are getting to the end of the list here. Next, we have organophosphate pesticides. Now, these are used in commercial agriculture to control pests on fruit and vegetable crops. Now, this chemical interferes with testosterone, with our fertility, thyroid hormone levels, brain development, and brain or behavior. All right, so what can we do about this? This is another reason why organic produce is just so important, so we can avoid these harmful pesticide residues the best that we can. Again, if you're wondering what that list is, you can go into the program in VHM under the core nutrition plan. Goodness, I had a little brain fart. The Prepare to Detox, it talks all about that, but you can also go to ewg.org to find out more, okay? Now, lastly, we have glycoethers, and this is a common solvent in paints, in cleaning products, brake fluid, and even cosmetics, which is crazy that this product goes from cosmetics to brake fluid. Think about that for a second. But anyways, this chemical has been linked to blood abnormalities, lower sperm count, asthma, allergies, and immune dysfunction. So a cleaner solution here, go through your cleaning supplies and literally clean them up. Avoid products with ingredients like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to pronounce these. I'm going to do my best, okay? Avoid ingredients like 2-butoxyphenyl, in parentheses, that can also be listed as EGBE, and methoxydiclol, okay, or DEGME. Forgive me for my awful pronunciation, but those words are crazy. Now there are also great options out there available to us that we can confidently shop at for cleaner solutions. So we've got Thrive Market. There's also a brand called Brandless, which I absolutely love and have found great items from there. We have our tried and true Norwex, which has been around for a long time. There's also Attitude Living. I buy a lot of things from there, from shampoo and conditioner to cleaning products to detergents. They are all EWG verified, which means they have the cleanest scale. So I can shop there confidently, and you can too. Other brands are Branch Basics. These are just a few, again, of my personal and favorite companies that I can trust. But again, you can go to the ewg.org website to get a list of EWG verified products that are non-toxic and better alternatives as well. I also want to add this, that you can easily make your own cleaning products using easy ingredients like vinegar, lemon, and other essential oils. All right. So that concludes the list of the Dirty Dozen endocrine disruptors. And I know this list was extensive, and we dove deep into the ways these chemicals can impact our health on so many levels. I also know it could be overwhelming and maybe a little bit emotional to go through this process of reducing your toxic load, especially when you start to become just more aware of how many of these chemicals are in your products and how you should go about cleaning up your home and, what you put in and on your body. But my true hope is that this list really just helps to empower you to know better and then slowly but surely start doing better. All right, so feel inspired to begin cleaning up your life and reducing your chemical exposures to help protect your endocrine system and your overall health, even if you have to ease into this journey slowly. All right, and this points us back to the air you're breathing in and the way you're scenting and freshening up your home. Maybe this is the first area you begin to focus on, and then once you clean up your air fresheners, then you can move on to your personal care products or your cookware, your storage containers, etc., right? Pick one thing and clean that up and then move on to the next. One thing at a time, all right, to make this a joyful, not overwhelming transition and journey. This is exactly what I did a number of years ago. Again, I cleaned out those chemical-laden candles and plugins first. Then I phased out all my other products and items in my home by finishing them up first and then replacing them with non-toxic options. All right. Again, this really helped me ease into non-toxic living, which made the transition just more sustainable and less intimidating. But believe me, I want to add this too. We cannot be 100% toxin free, okay? I know I'm not, and I am okay with that, but I'm doing the best I can for my health and for my family's health. And that's where we have to be grateful and content with, right? So just do your best. It's not about doing it perfect. It's about gradual progress in these areas, okay? So in closing, really, it's just time we start being more mindful about what we invest in and what we bring into our home. Our home should be our safe haven, right? So I encourage you to create an environment that not only gives you peace and joy, but one that contributes to your overall health as well. Our quality of health really starts with the quality of ourselves. So let's dig deeper and begin serving ourselves on a cellular level so our bodies can function as optimally as they can. Alrighty, thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions or feedback or anything like that, please feel free to drop that in the comments below in the group chat that we have in the community. Okay, I am here for you and I'm excited for you to start this journey if you are new to this and you are eager to start. Alrighty, take care.